I think my family and friends again were a very instrumental part in me just being brave enough to put myself out there on the internet because they were very vocal in saying that what's missing from your business is you. Like as soon as people meet you, that's when they fall in love. So, why deprive them of that?
Welcome to the Italian Wine Podcast. I'm Cynthia Chaplin, and this is Voices. Every Wednesday, I will be sharing conversations with international wine industry professionals, discussing issues in diversity, equity, and inclusion through their personal experiences working in the field of wine. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and rate our show wherever you get your pods. Hello and welcome to Voices. This is Cynthia Chaplin, and today I am so happy to welcome Amari Collins to Voices. Amari is a wine caterer, an educator, a digital creator. She's based in Brooklyn in New York, and she's known as Vin Dealer on social media. And she has turned her gift for storytelling into a business called Swirl School. She hosts wine tastings, and she went viral with her TikToks, and now she has over 34,000 followers. So it is a pleasure to talk to you today.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to be here, Cynthia. Thanks for having me. And I love your name. I know two of you now, three of you.
Cynthias are rare, I tell you.
They are. It's an old school name, but it's strong. I've never met a tame Cynthia. That's for sure.
Well, I love that because that's definitely how I feel about it. You got to be tough when you're three. You can't spell that.
Exactly.
In Italy, I'm Cinzia because people can't say Cynth doesn't come out correctly. So I'm Cinzia here.
I mean, that's also very elegant and wonderful.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I know that your love for wine started way back in your childhood. Such a great story with your dad, who was a sommelier, and he introduced you to wine when you were a little girl. So tell us about that, because this is really a lovely story, not what usually happens to most of us.
I agree. Excuse me. I always say that I grew up in a very European way, and not the norm, especially when it came to wine. But basically, my dad was studying for his first level, and he and I have this sort of relationship where we've always grown up together. So whatever he was doing, I was doing. Like if he ordered two hot dogs at the movie theaters, I'd get two hot dogs at the movie theaters. Like even if I couldn't finish it, he was my muse, and and as I was to him. So when he started getting into wine, it was only natural that I sort of followed suit, even when I legally wasn't supposed to. But it really helped challenge my way of approaching wines, because he mostly was just into sensory experiences. So we loved movies, so it's very visual. We loved to cook, and wine just followed suit. And growing up in California, we had access to just freshness all around, and we'd go outside in the backyard and pick rosemary that grew like a weed and cooked it with some potatoes and had a California cab next to it. And he'd be like, "What do you smell? Like, what do you taste?" And I'd be like, kind of smells like that burp you did in my face. And he's like, "Exactly. Yeah, because I had beef jerky this morning and it kind of has that beef taste to it, or that beef smell." So yeah, it gave me a very approachable outlook to something that I later found out was very stuffy and not that.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
So true. Well, my husband doesn't drink, so I brought my children up just like you. I needed someone to play with, so they grew up in my kitchen cooking and drinking wine. I think it's the best way to really get involved. As you said, it shaped your wine experience from the time you were little in a really nice way. So I love that. But it's bizarre because you had a completely different career, before you turned to wine. You were in television production. So how did you get from, television production at some pretty important places into Vin Dealer? What happened?
Yeah, yeah. I think like lots of people, the pandemic happened, and it really. It's also the time that I turned 30, and I think I really just had to kick my butt into gear. I wanted a little bit more stability. I wanted to do something that I loved. TV was fun for sure, and it met it had me meet a lot of great, amazing people. Um, but unfortunately, like due to circumstances of just how the media industry and the entertainment industry is, it started to take sort of a back seat. People were doing other things. Drinking was one of them. And because I had worked in wine shops in New York basically my entire 10 years at the time of being here, that was the only other industry that I knew people in. And I'm a personality hire by default. So I would only get jobs based off of people I knew. And yeah, like the wine industry just opened me with open arms, like opened the doors to me with open arms. And I was in sales for a minute and was able to get whatever wine I wouldn't sell and sell it to my friends. And yeah, it sort of became like this business within a business. And yeah, that's how that was born.
That's so cool. Usually, this is the moment where somebody says, and then there was COVID, and the story takes a really dark turn. But for you, that's a really nice move away from one career and into something that you already loved. So, this is a very happy conversation for me. I like it when things are happy. So, um, let's talk a little bit about Vin Dealer because you came up with the idea. You said sort of 10 years ago, and you were doing these little small private tastings and using social media and kind of reaching out to sort of a more diverse audience without being stuffy, as you said, or pretentious and all those bad things that we don't like in the wine world. I am a wine educator, and even I don't like those things. So that's why I do this podcast. So what gave you the idea for Vin Dealer? How has it grown up and changed in the past few years? I know you blew up a few months ago with a crazy video on a rooftop in Brooklyn. So what happened? How'd you get Vin Dealer going, and how has it changed? And what happened with this blow up on the rooftop?
Ugh, yeah, it's so crazy. Well, I think the best place to start is the name. Vin Dealer is in itself like a pun and an ode to culture. And if you are a fan of Vin Diesel or have watched the Fast and Furious movies, like you can make that correlation. And Vin Dealer sort of started by my love of like movies and wine and like sort of marrying the two. If you go all the way down, scrolling on my Instagram, you'll see that it was all just memes and references of movie characters or TV show characters drinking wine. Um, so yeah, it was really just like the moment in life where you're just like, I'm gonna try this out. It's like the things that I like, and we'll see if it lands. Um, I was in the supper club community in New York for a while. That sort of trend came from London of just like chefs wanting to cook for more intimate spaces and not be in like a pretentious restaurant, being in someone's apartment. So I would sort of provide wine for those nights and those groups. And we did something from even like a arts and crafts day to like, I remember the day after my wedding, we went to like this knitting circle and I poured wine.
That doesn't bode well for your marriage. You went knitting the day after your wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you still married?
Yeah, yeah. So he knew what he was getting himself into, that's for sure. Um, to then, yeah, now I think my family and friends again were a very instrumental part in me just being brave enough to put myself out there on the internet because they were very vocal in saying that what's missing from your business is you. Like as soon as people meet you, that's when they fall in love. So, why deprive them of that? And I remember we were in California visiting family, and I was like, well, I have these 6 bottles that I just bought. Why don't we like create a video in like your backyard and see what happens? And that was the start of it all. I came back to New York inspired, and I was like, I got a cute roof. Let's just do it right here. And yeah, it went viral, as they say.
It did. It went absolutely crazy. So yeah, so great. And your personality really is. I have scrolled all the way through your Instagram. And anybody who listens to this podcast knows what a stalker I am. So I love what you're doing because it is so fun and not irreverent, really. You know, filled with information, but in a really accessible, fun, nice way. Makes people feel like they're doing something that's really fun and something that they can be part of. Like it's really for them. They're not, outside the door looking in. So I love that.
Yes, I love that too. I do feel like my approach appeals to the masses, which makes sense, but yeah, at the same time, it's kind of like, what? Because there's a little something for everybody in the content. I can't tell you how many comments I get of people being like, I don't even drink wine and I'm locked in, like, and that's the highest praise
Well, at
because it could be
34,000
anything.
followers is nothing to sneeze at, I tell you. So,
I guess so. I guess so.
well, you've said your own wine choices have really changed over the time. You were talking about California cabs with your dad, and hot dogs and things like that. So what was your first wine love? When you first really thought, I like wine. What was the first wine love? And what are you drinking today? What's your favorite wine today?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What are you going to be drinking for Halloween tomorrow?
Oh, that's locked in. Yeah, so that's a good question. To answer your first one, I think the first wine that really like brightened my senses was when my dad started drinking like uh funky, like interesting whites that wasn't just Chardonnay. Because my mom was a very simple drinker, like she loved her Chardonnay, California Chardonnay specifically. So that oaky, buttery bomb.
That put me off
Yeah,
Chardonnay until I discovered Chablis many years later.
exactly. Yeah, and I think that was the same. It was like Chablis. It was like interesting Sauvignon Blancs. It was like Chenin. It was like all these zoinky whites that I couldn't even explain. Like I remember being introduced to like Italian whites for the first time, um, by my dad, and I was just in awe. Like the fruit and the floral and the juice, and it was just like, and the acid. Like I really really love lemon and Meyer lemon
Oh,
and
we've
zest
we've got you
lemon.
covered. Italian wines, high acid, man.
Yes, and I love it. It's like right here. Um, so that really like awakened my senses for sure. And then moving to New York and kind of falling into like the natural wine space, which was rare to even find in California at that time too. Like I I loved the people. I thought they were all just like hipster, like farmer weirdos.
Pretty much like
And
that's a legitimate description, actually.
yeah, exactly. Like they're also making like THC tinctures like in their back balconies. So it felt like aligned with my story and like similar to my dad and I's relationship. So yeah, like the again, that goes back to like the pretentious part of wine was literally something I've never experienced because my trajectory has been so left to begin with. I think to go the traditional route would be a disservice. That's why I never want to get certified or anything.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a fine line to walk. It really is.
Hmm.
Depending on what you want to do in the industry, sometimes
Right.
you need to have some sort of kudos to break the door down. I'm a lot older than you, so it took a long time I had to have those things. But it's funny because when I'm teaching my private clients and I don't use that language. So I teach a lot in Asia, and that's nobody knows what a gooseberry is.
Right.
It makes no sense. So it's a
Yeah.
great
You have to say a sock,
yeah,
you know?
exactly. It's a great system for learning and like to give you a backbone and to have some authority. But
Yes.
yeah, my writing and my teaching has walked away from that. So I completely get that. I love that you didn't have to come in through the yeah the hard way like I
Yeah, yeah. I came in through the back door.
yeah.
It helped out.
So what are you drinking tomorrow? What are you drinking for Halloween? I want to know if it's a
Oh,
natural wine or not.
okay, yes. So I just got a package from, they're called Citradella Imports. It's just like this 1 gallon, her husband, Athena, and she specializes in like Hungarian, Czechoslovakian, uh, Eastern Europe
Oh, those
wines.
are so out there. Yeah.
Those are really out there, and I'm obsessed because every time I open one, it's a new experience. And I'm sure you can attest to this just working in this industry. Things get pretty saturated, and like if I'm gonna drink and if I'm going to uh, abuse my body a little bit, it needs to be it needs to be something that's gonna wow me, and I do feel like wines from that region um, truly knock my socks off every time.
So interesting. Yeah, absolutely. There's always something new. I live in Valpolicella, for which I'm very lucky, but there's only so much Valpolicella you can drink in a lifetime. So I spent a week in Croatia with my daughters and drank Croatian wine the entire time, and it was like an epiphany. So
I bet. I bet.
absolutely great.
And also the environment, and you're with your daughters. It's like paradise. I mean, it's regardless of how it tasted, it was gonna be good.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's the fun of it, sharing. Um, so nowadays you've got a new gig going on. You've got Swirl School, which I love. So I want to hear about this. What is Swirl School? Tell us what you're doing. I know you're sort of. Are you teaching? Are you training? Are you presenting? What's going on with Swirl School?
Yeah, yeah. So Swirl School started just basically because all of the I go where the comments tell me to go, and because people will tell you what they want to see and hear and feel. um, so all the comments were saying like, "I want to be your best friend," or like, "We're the same," or like, "Let's hang out." And I was like, okay, let me figure out a way to actually make that happen, and also combine my love of travel and experiencing new places and exploring people from different places, um, and combine that all together in a party format and end it at a time where I want to go to bed. And it doesn't have to be like I'm out all night or I'm on my feet for 12 hours, like
I'm past that.
yeah, exactly. So it became a this very simple format where it's 3 hours and it's a bunch of folks that are of like mind coming together. They really have no idea what they're getting into. It's not really specific online what it is, so it's the kind of people I want. It's the true explorers and the true curious cats, because it isn't your typical wine tasting. And I explain that as soon as you walk in, I'm the first person you see with the sparkling. Um, People come in and mingle and usually show up at reasonable times because the event is only 3 hours long. Um, I go into my little spiel of like, we're going to taste through 6 different wines, maybe more, but I'm also going to be like pouring stuff into your mouth, and we're going to be dancing, and I'm going to teach you a dance. And we have this element called confessionals where I have these little strips of paper that we hand out, and we have people write secrets. And
Ooh, I love it.
yeah, we like put it in a bowl and shake it up, and then we all like take turns reading each other's in like this circle of trust and love. And it's always a hit every time, and everyone wants to dance when they're drunk, so incorporating that at the end is such a nice little cherry on top. And then we say our goodbyes, and that's it. And
This sounds awesome. I have to come to the next Swirl
you
School.
must. I mean, I think we should plan one in Italy. Is more of what we're thinking.
Absolutely. I've got a venue. You can come to my house. Like
Excellent.
it's interesting because I know that you just did one in London, which how did that happen? Because you're in New York, you're from California. Now, how did you suddenly take swirl school, which isn't very old to begin with, and do a gig in London? Like I lived in London for a while, so I know where Shoreditch is. It's not like the really popular part of London. So how did you pick that? And you went to London, you did swirl school, and you poured all English wines, which is like, okay, this is a brave thing to do, very brave. Tell me about
Oh,
it.
so insane. It was like the time of my life for sure because I have always been obsessed with UK culture, my husband as well. My accent is pretty darn good, and if wine was in my glass now, I probably would do it for you. Um,
My husband's from England,
oh,
so
okay, so you would be the judge if I can hit it or not. But my earliest memories are like me and my cousins like speaking in British accents, and like it's I love the shows, I love the music, I love Channel 4, like I've always subscribed to the BBC, like it's just ingrained, and it was such a relief and shock that besides my American followers, the majority is in England. Um, I guess my humor really lands and it works. So I've
people in England need some fun.
yeah, yeah. It's
I
a
lived there
dreary
for
place.
16 years. You need some
Yeah,
fun.
need some bright. Need some sun. Literally. Um. So yeah, there was a hotel that followed my page and would like make comments on my posts sometimes, and I slid in the DMs and was like, "Hey, would you ever want to do something together?" And they were like, "Absolutely yes." So it was weeks and months of planning, um, but they agreed to host the party and host us, and my manager Cynthia and best friend was able to join. My husband was able to join. We have a best friend out there who was helping out too, and it was just a night to remember. And
So you poured all English. What did you pour?
we didn't actually pour all English. We poured one English wine that I was able to get into the hotel. Everything else had to be like secured by their som. So what they chose were still really cool. Like I think we had two Turkish and two Greek wines, which were amazing. And then a prosecco, obviously. Um, but I was able to bring in this young winemaker called Arc, and it's actually a project with her and her dad that they started a couple years ago in COVID, and now they make some beautiful, crazy Bacchus Chardonnay blends that we were able to drink that night. And she even brought us a Riesling, like something really special that she only made like 10 cases of. Um, so it was extraordinary. And everyone was telling me that English sparkling wines are the bee's knees. So that needs to
They
be next.
are. There are some good
Yeah.
ones. There are some good ones. I can attest to that.
Ugh, we weren't there long enough to go to like a vineyard, but that's gonna be next, the next trip for sure.
Awesome. I'm ready. I'll help you organize it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, I mean, this has been an amazing year for you overall. Between that going on with Swirl and your TikTok and your social media blowing up and everything, you got named to Wine Enthusiast Future 40 Tastemakers list. So, first of all, huge congratulations from my heart because I think you really deserve it. I love what you're doing and the way you're doing it. You're very true to yourself, which is not always the case. So, were you shocked? Was it a
Oh
surprise?
my god, yes. I mean, to have like the president of wine enthusiasts like DM me on Instagram, just being like, "What's your email address?" Like, and not knowing what it's for. And then to receive that email is absolutely insane. Like, no expectations. I have never won anything ever. So to be a part of that list was such an honor and a testament to, me sailing through life, just trying to figure out like where I fit in, and finally finding where I fit in is like the greatest joy. For
I
sure.
am so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. That's such a great thing. You've set the bar high. Like, what are you going to win next? That's you didn't start at the bottom. You started at the top. No, it's really. I'm really really happy for you. And because what you're doing is so sort of new and vibrant and out of the old school thing. It's even more of an accolade that they saw you and and really recognized that. So congratulations on that. And now I know, seriously, it was really cool. I was so
Thank
happy.
you
So,
so much, Cynthia.
what's the next thing coming for Swirl and Vin Dealer? You got to keep going up, right?
Yeah.
So, where are you going to be when I call you 5 years from now? What's the dream? What do you want to do
Oh
next?
my God. I think establishing myself um, in all on all the coasts is what's very important to me. So California, New York, and in London. Those three places are what I've just always dreamed and dangled in my mind as like living and being a part of the culture. Um, and I want it all. Like I don't want to limit myself to just New York or just California or just London. Like I just want to continue like growing in myself and making friends in all these places and just seeing where life takes me, riding the wave with now this credibility that I have. Um, I feel like I've made it now. So yeah, it has to only get better, right?
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, if you want to come and do Squirrel School with me in Verona, you're in. I lived in Rome for 10 years too, so we've got you covered in
Oh,
Italy.
girl,
Anytime you want to come.
say the word, or as what the kids say less. I will be emailing you after this, and we can manifest something together. I'm serious.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Amari, I'm so grateful to talk to you. You've cheered up. It's the end of my day here, so you've cheered up the end of my day. No end. I love a positive story. Like nothing bad happened. No wine was killed. Everything is fine. So very, very grateful to you today. And again, congratulations on your great award. And I can't wait to see where you're going from here.
Thank you, Cynthia. I hope you open up something fabulous tonight too after our conversation.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'll be happening.
Thank you for listening, and remember to tune in next Wednesday when I'll be chatting with another fascinating guest. Italian Wine Podcast is among the leading wine podcasts in the world and the only one with a daily show. Tune in every day and discover all our different shows. You can find us at ItalianWinePodcast.com, SoundCloud, Spotify, Himalaya, or wherever you get your pods.